No warm welcome. No rookie grace period. Instead, they tested her in the most brutal way possible. And some say it wasn't just competition, it was personal. The Kennedy Carter incident? That was just the beginning. Carter straight up trucked Clark in a game, sending her flying across the court. No attempt at the ball, no hesitation. It was a statement. You don't belong here. Are now hitting the weight room just to keep up. Because if they don't, Clark is going to physically dominate them. The WNBA used to be a league of speed and finesse. But with Clark's transformation, a new era is here. One where strength is just as important as skill. But not every star in the league is following Clark's lead. In fact, one of her biggest rivals has taken an entirely different approach. And the contrast between the two couldn't be more dramatic. Before defenders could push her around, they could bump her off her spots, disrupt her rhythm, and force her into tough shots. But after her transformation, those same defenders are the ones backing down. She's not getting bullied anymore. She's the one setting the tone. Look at what's happening on the court now. Clark isn't just avoiding contact, she's inviting it. She's using her strength to create space, lower her shoulder, and power through defenders who used to knock her off balance. And it's not just about getting tougher. This new version of Clark has unlocked an entirely new offensive weapon. And while her skill kept her afloat, the physicality was taking a toll. It was obvious. If she wanted to dominate, she had to get stronger. That's when the transformation began. Fever head coach Stephanie White confirmed it. Clark made it her mission to bulk up. But this wasn't just a slight change. This was a full-blown reinvention. Her arms grew noticeably bigger, her core strengthened, and suddenly the player who once looked like she'd snap in half was looking more like she belonged in the UFC. Some say she's training like a powerlifter.
How do you explain her?
Kobe Bryant with a ponytail. Seriously, like apex predator, great basketball player who wants to steal your soul.
They said she was too skinny, too weak to survive in the WNBA. But Caitlin Clark didn't just prove them wrong. She transformed herself into an absolute powerhouse. If you thought she was dangerous before, wait until you see what she's done now. And the best part, this isn't just about looking stronger. Clark's new physique is about to change everything.
This is a team built for deep playoff runs. And here's where it gets interesting. Before opponents could bully Clark, they could attack her physically and disrupt her game. But now that's not going to work anymore. And if teams can't wear her down, how exactly are they supposed to stop her? Because here's the reality. A stronger, smarter Caitlin Clark isn't just good news for the Fever, it's bad news for the rest of the league. The Indiana Fever were never supposed to be contenders, until now. For years, this franchise was stuck at the bottom of the league. No star power, no playoff hopes, and no real future. But everything changed the moment they drafted Caitlin Clark. And now, after her transformation, after the offseason moves, this team isn't just rebuilding, they're coming for a championship. But with Clark, the officials swallowed the whistle and let the chaos unfold. Some called it tough love. Others saw it as a conspiracy to humble her. But regardless of the reason, Clark was taking hit after hit, and the WNBA was watching to see if she would break. But here's the thing, Clark didn't break. She adapted. And this is where her transformation truly changed everything. Because not only did she survive the punishment, she learned how to fight back. And that's when the entire league started to feel the consequences. It's bad news for the rest of the league. Defenders who used to push her around, now they're the ones getting moved. Teams that used to trap her, now she's breaking those traps and making them pay. And with a more complete roster around her, she's no longer the only threat teams have to worry about. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark getting better. This is about her entire team leveling up with her. And when that happens, something dangerous starts to form, a real contender. So the question isn't just whether Clark has improved. The real question is, how far can she take this team? And when that happens, something dangerous starts to form, a real contender. So the question isn't just whether Clark has improved. The real question is, how far can she take this team? A transformation this dramatic doesn't just change one player, it shifts the balance of the entire league. And if Clark's rise continues at this pace, then what happens next is going to shake up everything we thought we knew about the WNBA. Then there was Dijanai Carrington, who delivered a hit so hard, Clark walked away with a black eye.
Harassment
Carrington finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington and is down. Caitlin Clark is down. No call. It's Connecticut takes advantage. And Clark is still down in pain after she caught that fingertip in the eye or right around it from Carrington with no whistle.
And that wasn't even the worst of it. If this kind of contact happened to any other star in the league, there would have been whistles. But with Clark, the officials swallowed the whistle and let the chaos unfold. Some called it tough love. Others saw it as a conspiracy to humble her. But with Clark physically leveling up, while Reese seems more focused on everything else, it raises one major question: who's actually going to dominate when the season starts? And it's not just about individual success anymore, because Caitlin Clark's transformation isn't just changing her. It's changing the entire Indiana Fever franchise. And for the first time in years, they might actually be a real threat. Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA already known for her generational talent. But even the greatest shooters and playmakers struggle when they step into a league filled with the strongest, fastest, and most physical players in the world. The WNBA isn't just about skill, it's about surviving the grind of an 80-game season, battling through relentless defenders, and proving you won't be broken. Clark learned that lesson the hard way. Her first few months in the league were brutal. Opponents didn't just guard her, they hunted her. They pushed, bumped, and outright bullied her every chance they got. And while her skill kept her afloat, the physicality was taking a toll. It was obvious. If she wanted to dominate, she had to get stronger. Two of the biggest names in women's basketball. Two completely different approaches. While Caitlin Clark was grinding in the gym, adding muscle and preparing for war, Angel Reese was taking a very different path. Vacations, brand deals, and social media appearances, Reese's offseason looked nothing like Clark's. And that contrast has only fueled the debate about who truly wants it more. For years, fans have debated who the true face of women's basketball is. Reese and Clark have been locked in competition since college, and every move they make is scrutinized. But this offseason gave that debate an entirely new angle. Clark is putting everything into her game, and it shows. She's coming back to the league stronger, sharper, and more prepared than ever. Reese? She's making headlines for all the reasons outside of basketball. Now, none of this means Reese won't have a great season. She's proven time and time again that she plays her best when the lights are brightest. But with Clark physically leveling up, while Reese seems more focused on everything else, it raises one major question: who's actually going to dominate when the season starts?